Hey friends, welcome back to my channel and welcome to the last video in my makeup inventory and declutter series. This is it. It's time for eyeshadows. This is obviously one of my favorite categories. I am definitely an eyeshadow girl. Now, before we get into it, I just want to say please do not ask me for these eyeshadow palettes in the comments if I'm decluttering them. They are either going to my nieces or they will be listed on my Poshmark in the near future. If you are interested in them, you can look for them there. All right, that being said, let's go ahead and get into it. These are my Ace Beauté and Aether Beauty palettes. We are going in alphabetical order. So we have Floral Vintage, Violet Sage, Vintage Dawn, and the new Smoke and Roses? Smoky Roses. This palette I really enjoy. I'll be keeping that. This one I've never touched. It's pretty to look at, but it's really not my shades, so I'm finally going to declutter it. Vintage Dawn is going to be in one of my projects this year, so that's not going anywhere yet. And then the Smoky Roses, when I look at it, I don't feel very inspired. And I kind of regret purchasing it for that reason. It has sparkly shimmers. Again, I am not into sparkle, so I'm going to let this one go as well. Okay, for Aether Beauty, we have the Joshua Tree, Amethyst, I don't remember what this one's called, and I think Desert Sunset. I have not used this one, and I am not too into it, so I'm going to let that one go as well. I like this one, especially those grungy yellow-brown shades, so I'll keep that. No one will ever purchase this palette because they just saturated the market with it. I'm going to keep it for now, but maybe next year I'll be passing that on to my nieces. And I will keep this one as well, and I should probably consider using it once in a while, huh? Okay, so we are keeping 5 and getting rid of 3 out of this first batch. Not bad. Here's my Anastasia Beverly Hills collection, and this is something I'm a bit ashamed of. So first off, I've used very few of these. Second, I just purchased the 2 new limited edition 9 pans. So this is the Modern Renaissance, which I have the full size of here. And this is the Sultry, which I have the full size of here. I had my reasons, I promise. So I wanted this Sultry palette because this one has a glitter cover. Let me show you. I do not like the texture and I do not like glitter. Now this stuff doesn't come off on my hands too much, but this repulses me from trying the palette pretty much. So I did want to try this one, but unfortunately when I look at this color story, I am more attracted to the full color story than to this. So I'm not sure what I'm gonna do yet. I know I should let this one go. I have not used it. I should let it go. But for some reason, the Bloom and the Rose Quartz just kind of pull this thing together for me. So you guys tell me what you would do about that situation. Alrighty, so obviously I'm going to keep these because they're brand new. Now, this one, I do find the color story way more attractive in this 9 pan than I do in the original Modern Renaissance. One, because I don't need that many berry tones. I don't need 2. I barely need 1. And the other, I think, actually the packaging itself, the component, like this looks much darker. This is much brighter. I just feel like I will pull this one out more. So I'm going to let this one go. So this is the Soft Glam 2 palette. Got this one from Ulta. Haven't used it much, but I'm gonna keep it. We also have the Glam to Go. I just recently used this for the first time and I enjoyed it, so keeping that one. So I have the Norvina, which I have not used, and I have the big Norvina. I don't remember which number this one is. I'm not a purple gal. The only reason I have kept this, I got it from Ipsy. I dropped it. And there are 2 shades in here that are loose because of that. So I don't want to sell it because it'll immediately just, those will break up in shipping, you know? So that's why I have that, but I haven't used it. Yeah, but again, I'll be keeping it because of those broken shadows, unfortunately. Alrighty, so we have the Primrose here. I did buy this from Ipsy after complaining wildly about not getting it in my icon box. $18. Have not touched it yet, but it is beautiful. Can't wait to use that. This is the Cosmos. I did purchase this one full price for some reason. Don't ask me why. Haven't touched it yet. This, again, is the other Norvina. Haven't touched it, but keeping it. It's actually a really pretty color story. And then this one is Subculture. Does that sound right to you all? This is probably one of my least favorites. Like, I do love this edge shade, but oh, that's pretty too. It is pretty, but there's a lot of colors in here that I don't ever go for. So I think I'm going to let Subculture go. I actually got this one at TJ Maxx, I think, but we'll let that go. So we're getting rid of 2 and keeping 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Keeping 9. Okay, so for Araceli Beauty, I have Azteca Eyes, Dia de los Muertos, and Jalisco Eyes. These are the 3 palettes that they have in their line. I purchased these in order to support the brand when they brought out some allegations against Tresluz Beauty. But I'll be keeping those. For Artiste Couture, this is the Supreme Bronze palette. I still haven't used that. I do want to give it a try. From the Balm, I have the What's the Tea palettes, the Hot Tea and the Iced Tea. Have I used these? I don't know. I'm sure I haven't used this one. I may have used this one, but I keep those because I like the packaging. This is the Bee Bella Sweet Sunflower. I have used this many times and I do enjoy it. This is Berry M Fall in Love. Really like this. I do love me a good all matte palette, and this one will be in a project this year. And then this is Beauty for Real Golden Hour. And do I want that? No, I don't. I'm gonna let this one go and keep the rest. Okay, we have here the Beauty Bakery Sugar Cookies, which I have not used. Have I swatched it? Yes, but I'm just not into that palette. I may actually depot that one, because while I'm looking at it, these 2 shades I'm into, and the rest I'm not. So that one's going to go, but it might get depotted. Interesting. It has glitter on the cover, so that doesn't help its case at all. All right, for BH Cosmetics, we have 4 palettes. This is the Galaxy Chic, no, Solar Flare Galaxy Chic. This is the Gilded, Glam Reflection Gilded. Love this palette. It's not going anywhere. Love this one. This is the Romantic Nomad. And yeah, I said I was going to use that in a project of some type, and I haven't. I'm going to let it go now. I'm just going to let it go. I might actually depot this one too. All right, and then we have Bell and Argent. And this palette is called Nude Intuitive Vision. And this is Peach Blossom from Bella Pierre. I did swatch this, so I will keep it. Although it's not really that much up my alley. So we are getting rid of 2 from here. Oh, actually, I think we're going to get rid of 3. This is really pretty. I love their formulas, but this is too colorful for me. If you know me well, yeah, this is not me. Okay, we have my One Blend Bunny palette here. This is the Dollhouse. I will not be getting rid of that. Then moving on to Bobbi Brown. This was the New Year's quad from last year, and it is stunning, and I probably won't be messing with that. This was a holiday palette from 2 years ago. This is my Chanel Les Ombres. I believe it's number 228. This is Butter London, and it is just Butter London, Natural Goddess. There it is. When you swatch these shimmers, they are quite surprisingly good. So I have kept that. And Cella, we keep this to ward off evil spirits. And then my Colored Rain palettes. So this is Rebellious Nudes, and this is Botanical. I really don't like this one, so I'm going to let it go. There we go. So out of these, we are getting rid of just 1 palette, but that's okay. I have only one Ciate London palette. This is I Am a Woman, What's Your Superpower? And it's a pretty palette. It is a very pretty color story, very neutral, pinky, rosy. However, I don't like this brand. I don't like their formulas. So unfortunately, as pretty as it is, I am going to let this one go. I missed this palette. So this is my By Terry palette. This is going to be in a project this year, so I had it out of my drawers. So this is the Eye Designer palette 2 Color Design. All mattes? Not really. I think there's some shimmers or satins in here as well, but this is something I want to get some more use out of. This is part 1 of my ColourPop palettes. So we have Sandstone up here. I'll be keeping that, although it is a bit too sparkly for me. This was Garden Variety, but I kind of depotted a bunch of my ColourPops, and these are the remnants of that. I probably will get rid of some more colors out of here. The same goes for the Wild Nothing palette, although it looks a bit like it did when it started. I really want to get some use out of this palette this year. Okay, we have Daisy Does It. Haven't really used this. I swatched it just a bit, but this will be going in a project this year. We have Raw Beauty Christie's, whatever it's called, at Forest Sight. I really liked this when I bought it, but it is not my color story. That top row is, and then the rest I really don't enjoy. So this one may end up getting depotted too, and I might keep that top row. Then we have everyone's favorite, the Limoncello palette. Definitely one that I love as well, so we'll be keeping it. And then this little 5-pan here is Social Butterfly. This came from my friend Mary Catherine Loves Cats. And I also have one of these Valentine's Day from 2 years ago. Now this one is broken, and so is the pink over there, so I won't be opening that one up. And I will probably declutter those shades because I don't need them. And then we have Lust for Dusk over here. This is so pretty, and I cannot wait to use this. I picked it up in the past few months, and it will be in a project this year as well. So none of these are going. So these are my ColourPop Hocus Pocus palettes. This was the original Hocus Pocus, and it is Gather Round Sisters. This is Witching Hour. Oh, it broke. Oh, sad. And this is the new Hocus Pocus 2 All Hallows Eve. And I'm a huge Hocus Pocus fan, so I will be keeping those. And then this is my Matte About Hue palette, which I have not touched yet, but I'll be keeping it. These are all of my ColourPop 9-pan palettes. So we have Mandalorian the Child. Not a fan of the color story, but I do love Baby Grogu, so keeping that. We also have the Mandalorian. Haven't used it yet, but that is a color story that intrigues me quite a bit. This is Hello Kitty at Frost Sight. We've got the Baroque palette, the Ornate palette. These are the Lunar New Year Lunar Has It from 2021. I am a Year of the Ox baby, so I have these, but I've used this one. I have not used that one, although I did take a glitter out of it. We have Going Coconuts, and we have the Secret Admirer Valentine's palette. I want to keep this one because of the hearts. I don't want to keep it because of the color story. I will definitely get rid of that pink and hopefully replace it with something from another palette. But otherwise, I'm keeping all of these. I lied. This is called Snow Much Fun, not At Frost Sight. So, starting out with Complex Culture. This is the full-time eyeshadow palette. Complex Culture is another brand that Ipsy started and also got rid of in the past year or two. So I'm going to keep this one just because it's not around anymore, really. This is from Core & Co., which is a K-beauty, and it is Recipe Note Almond Apricot Cake. It is so cute. It looks like a little recipe book. These are Dido palettes. So this is Saturn Shade, Eco Earth Shade, and this is Galaxy Shade. This is not a palette I would ever use. It's got that glitter in it, and then it's just not colors that appeal to me. But I am keeping it just because it's pretty. Then these two, like, they're not all that appealing either. Of the two, I would actually keep the Eco Earth shade, even though those are colors I don't use. Yeah, so why don't we do that? Let's get rid of the Saturn shade. Okay. Then we have Dominique Cosmetics Latte 2 palette. I do want to try to use this one a little more. I wasn't thrilled with it when I used it in the past. We've got Dose of Colors, Sassy Siennas, enjoy this, and Blushing Berries, I believe. Yeah, Blushing Berries. Berries aren't my thing, but yeah, we're going to keep that for now. We have Douce over here, whatever this is called, I don't remember. Doesn't really matter, nobody cares about Douce. And then two of my e.l.f. palettes. This is Hot Chocolate, H-A-U-T-E, and this is the Chipotle palette, which was such a genius move on their part when they put this out. Okay, so we are getting rid of the one out of this group, but that's it. Just a few palettes in this set. I have the e.l.f. times Dunkin', the Dunkin' Dozen, so it's the full set of 3 bite-size palettes. Clearly haven't opened that. I have the Eloise Saharan Nights palette. I have Essence Benvenuti Aroma and Welcome to London. Got these because of the beautiful imprints. Flower Beauty over here, the ET palette. Fluide. This brand doesn't exist anymore. This was the Otherworldly palette. I think I'm going to depot this and keep maybe that out of the whole thing. And then this is the Formula Z Cosmic Glitz palette from Mary Catherine Loves Cats. Yeah, so we'll call this one a declutter because I will depot that. But the rest are staying. Here is my Glamlight Pizza palette. And my Glaminatrix Nearly Natural palette. I have not used this yet, but trust me, I'm going to this year. Okay, so we have here the Half Caked Snack Pack palette. I have not used this and I'm not going to. I bought it because of this nice yellow color, but this is too much color for me, so I'm going to let that one go. Moving into Hip Dot, we have my Hip Dot Clueless palette, not going anywhere. My Hip Dot Hello Kitty palette. Really wish it was a different color story, because I love Hello Kitty, but not these colors. This is the Hip Dot Witchy Warms. I think I'm going to let this one go too. I bought it because of the imprints, but they are not that impressive to me. This is the Hip Dot Tapatio. I think I'm going to depot this one. And this is Holika Neat Knit, which I just purchased and I love. So we're going to get rid of 3 of these and keep 3 of these. And here are some E palettes I forgot. This is Essence Don't Worry Bee. Wasn't a huge fan of it when I used it once, but we know 1 time is not enough. That's why I do my 3 times a charm project. And this is EM Cosmetics Faded Clementine. Not my favorite color story. I want a couple of her other palettes. Couple of them. I think Michelle Phan is the brand owner, and I think she's possibly in a cult. But she makes some pretty makeup. Don't tell anyone I said that, okay? But yeah, I'm gonna keep this one for now. I would love to replace it with the Rodin or the Da Vinci, which are more neutral nude palettes. But yeah, keeping it. It was expensive. This is my Huda Beauty collection. So we have the full-size Mercury Retrograde, we have the Naughty palette, we have the Wild Obsessions Chameleon and Tiger, we have the Nude Light, Medium, and Dark, we have Gold, these are the cool mattes and the warm mattes, and then the pastels, we have Mint, Rose, and Lilac. When I look at this row, it sure looks like these 2 palettes. And when I look at these, they sure look like that palette. I don't know why I keep buying these, because they're not me. These are some of my oldest palettes. So I would like to get rid of the Mint because that's just not attractive on me. The Rose and the Lilac, I don't know why, but I feel like I'm going to keep. So this one can go. The Gold I've had trouble with, but then the last time I used it was okay, so we'll keep that. We're going to keep the mattes. Love my mattes. We're going to keep this one because that shade broke and I repressed it. We'll keep these. Nude, oh, rich, not dark. So Nude Light, Medium, and Rich we will keep. I'm going to keep the Naughty because I just purchased that. I think I can let go of this Wild Chameleon. There are shades I like. There are shades I like in there. So yeah, I'm going to keep it. And then this is the one that I should get rid of because look at all that sparkle and look at those blues and teals. And like the good stuff in here that I would use is kind of represented in these 2 palettes. Sorta. Kinda, sorta. Mostly in this one. Anybody know how hard these are to depot? Because I feel like they'd be pretty difficult. Let me know, please. Because I think like there are elements of these I want to keep, but I certainly I don't need most of that top row. I don't need any sparkle in my life. I sparkle enough myself. My charming personality. All right, you guys, these are going to go to the side, and I'm going to figure out if they are depottable. And then I will keep the rest of these. Okay, these are packed in here tight, but we have my IBYs up here. So this is Super Bloom, Desert Vibe, and Sunday Brunch. And I think I'm going to get rid of Desert Vibes because I'm just not into it. So it's going to go. Then we have my iconic London. This is Day to Slay. This is Beachside Babe. This is Multi-Icon. And this one, I don't know the name of, but look at this. This is interesting. So here's Marshmallow. Here's Marshmallow. Here is Taupe de Taupe. Here's Taupe de Taupe. Here's Bronze Bay. Here's Bronze Bay. Look how much lighter these ones are. I don't know why. But I do know that Iconic is one of those brands that has made some cheapy palettes for BoxyCharm. That might be what this one is. This might be the real formula, and that might be the BoxyCharm formula. But I thought I got this one in a mystery box, so I'm not sure. Gonna keep all my Iconics. Haven't used 3 of the 4 of them. Item Beauty by Addison Rae. Bleh. This brand is no more. Another Ipsy brand that they decided to get rid of. Don't remember the name of this. Okay, I'm not getting rid of this one because nobody wants it. This is another one that market has no interest in. This is Illamasqua Unveiled Artistry palette. I did recently put this in my 3 times a charm. I didn't get rid of it. Not a huge fan of it. And looking at the part I like, the mattes next to my Jason Wu right here, looks pretty similar, doesn't it? This one I have not used though. It is Matte Agave. So I'm not gonna get rid of something in lieu of this without knowing what the formula is like. And this is my Jouer palette, which was, I don't know, probably rose gold. Yeah, rose gold matte and shimmer palette. That one has also been in a project recently, and I won't be getting rid of it. So 1 palette down out of these, and yeah, better than none. Juvia's Place, we have the Nubian, Rebel Honey, Nudes, Blushed Rose, the Violets, and the Taupes. I'm not a huge fan of this brand anymore. It's one of those love it or hate it brands, and I'm leaning towards not loving it. I'm going to get rid of the Blushed Rose because I don't enjoy it. Maybe I'll keep that shimmer out of it. I don't know. I'm going to get rid of the Nubian because I don't enjoy it. I'm going to keep this because holy heck yeah, in my color preferences. This is amazing. I'll keep this one just because it's very, very neutral. I don't really do purples, but I feel like keeping this because it's pretty to look at. And then the taupes, I will keep for now. So 4 kept and 2 decluttered. Okay, this one's a bit scattered, but we have the Kaleidos Cold Brew palette and the Sashimi City. I have not used this yet, but I really like this color story, so I plan to use that. This one I'm keeping as well. We have Carmela Cosmetics, the Defiance palette. Nothing that exciting, but nothing wrong with it either, so I'm keeping that. We have Lawless Cosmetics, the baby one, and I'll keep that as well. Laura Geller, this swatch is so amazing. This is the Delectables. And then we also have the soft satins. I think I'm going to let this one go. It's really pretty, but these are definitely colors that I can find over and over in my collection. So let's let that one go. And this is LA Splash, the Magic Palette. When I use this, I really enjoy it. For some reason, I always gravitate to that shade. So I'm going to keep this. And then this is my Lethal Cosmetics Build Your Own palette, but I do include it in my palettes and not my singles. I don't know why, but I do. So just getting rid of the one here. Oh, I almost forgot this. This is from Lily Bread. This was part of my recent K-Beauty haul. This is the cheese plate, and it's so cute. Look at it. Look at it. It's adorable. Okay, that's that. So here are my Lime Crimes up at the top. We have Prelude Chroma, Immortalis, Prelude, I don't know, something else, Exposed, and Venus 2. I am not a fan of the Venus 2. Again, just not, I'm not a colorful person. The only one I really like in there is Mustard. So I might depot this one, but it will not be a palette in my collection anymore. Alrighty, this is Lorac Maracai or Meraki. I don't know how to say it, but beautiful. Lorac's formula is amazing. Very, very neutral though. A little boring, but that's okay. These are both Lovecraft Beauty. We have the Warm Rituals and the Basic Rituals. I have used this one. I have never used that one, but that's more my color story. I have kept them for a long time, and I guess I'm going to keep them again. Lottie London, the Honey Bee, obviously my color story, and then the Rose Golds. This one I have not opened, and I think I will let it go. Then we have Lunar Beauty Nude Prism. I need to get some more use out of that because obviously it's a very popular palette and very pretty. And last up in my L's is LYS, which stands for Love Yourself. And this is the Empowered palette. So, haven't used that one yet. Now, the question is, do I want to get rid of any of the other Lime Crimes? I hate the packaging. It's so big and bulky. And I'm not a huge fan of the formulation. I think I will keep these 3 for now, though. Why? Don't know. Don't know. It's just what I'm feeling like right now. Okay. I'm just going to deal with the elephant in the room right now. This is my Melt Gemini 2 palette, which I recently purchased. I don't know how recently, but, you know, I opened it up and I was like, oh, I'll probably sell that one because it's not really my colors. But, oh, there is mold all over this Mateo. Oh. It makes me want to vomit. I am allergic to mold. So, unfortunately, that's a no-no. That's a bad melt. Bad. I really feel ill right now. I'm not from the mold, just thinking about the mold. Ugh. Sorry. Okay. Had to get that one out of the way because I can't look at it. So, this is Makeup a Murder. And this is my only item that I own from them. It's a little too shimmery for me, but I bought it because of all the imprints. I also thought it would be smaller. These are huge pans. This is Partner in Crime is the name of it. Obviously that black is getting everywhere. But I think it's time to let this go. Because as much as I love the Skull and Crossbones and the rest of the imprints, it's just too big and too glitter shimmery. So that one's going to go. Okay. The rest of my Melt palettes, I have the Amori Mariposas, keeping that for the imprints, not for the colors. I have the brunette here. I have Rust. Thank you, Mary Catherine Loves Cats, for giving this to me. I still just love it. This is the 27 palette, and this is my Milani. I believe it's Must Have Mattes. Yes. So, Most Loved Mattes. I'm sorry. Keeping that. So, I'm sorry. I really do feel ill after looking at that. I'm not exaggerating, so I guess this is a good place to take a break. But yeah, getting rid of that and this, and then keeping the rest. Here are some L&M palettes I forgot. So these are Lorella, and I've never used them. I bought them because they are both casket shaped. We have Rebirth and Afterlife. The color stories kind of suck, and that's why I've never used them, but they actually don't suck that much. I don't know. Maybe I should try them out sometime, but those just kind of stay tucked away in my cabinet, which is why I forgot them. This Lime Crime was, for some reason, tucked under my P palettes. I think because the size was similar. This is the Venus 2, and I'm not a huge fan of it. It does remind me of the Retro Glam from Natasha Denona, so I think that I can let this one go now. I may pull out some of the shades, but all in all, it's just not my favorite palette, so it's gonna go. It's time. And the Melt, what's this? Bad Side Zodiac Fire palette. This is newer to my collection, got it this year, and I had it in a project. Really ended up loving this shimmer all over my lid, so I'd like to use that a little more. Okay, so we are looking at my Moira palettes, which are all up here, then Moonslice Beauty and Morphe. This is the Moira Unravel Destiny Eye and Face palette. This is Little Fairy Tales. Always on My Mind Sweet Series palette, and then All That Is You from the same series. And this one is A Moment With You Love Letter. I actually won this one from Moira, which was really cool. And it's not really my color story, but it has the cute imprints in it. Do I need both of these? I'm not really a purple girl, but they have different imprints. This one has muffins and this one has cookies. Or biscuits. So yeah, I don't need them both. For now, I'm gonna keep them. This big guy, I would like to get some more use out of, although I never really will use this side of it. Just not a face palette kind of girl. This one I think is gonna go. I think I'm gonna let this go. It was in a it was in my Project 3 Uses this year. Didn't really love it. I think I will depot some of the shades that I do enjoy. So one down. The Moonslice Beauty, there is a broken shade in here. I haven't used it enough. I think I've only used it once, so I need to try that out a little more. Don't know the brand too well, so I would like to know whether I like the formula or not. Morphe. This one came from my friend Laura the Bargain Hunter. Thank you, Laura. This one I have not used yet. I got it from Ipsy, I believe. It is the Vintage Rose. This is the Coca-Cola 1973, I think, and this is the Make It Black. Definitely keeping this. I think I'll let go of that one. And then I don't know. I wanted to purchase this one just to support what it stands for, but I have not used it. So I'm gonna let this one go for sure. And I'm going to have to think about this one. Maybe my next declutter, it might go. No, you know what? I should let it go. I should let it go because I know it's not my color story. So I'm gonna let it go. I purchased it to, help support something. They got that money, so there you go. All right, so that's 3 palettes out. And 7 staying. Not horrible. Y'all, I'm so stupid. I just tried to close this one by lifting it up, which dropped that broken shade right out of it. So, you know what? I'm going to let that shade go. And just keep the rest of the palette. Ugh. Okay, so at the top here we have Musée Beauty. Now, they did change their name to Kylov, and then they shut down. This was an India brand. I am keeping them, I think of them as Musée, so that's why it's in my M's. There's something about this formula I don't understand, but I really enjoy. It transfers to the lid without looking powdery. I don't know how, I don't know why, but I'm keeping those. Even though blue is not really my thing, I really just love these color stories. Just wore this one this week, actually, and really enjoyed it. So keeping those. I'm sorry you can't get them from the company anymore, but you might be able to find them on Poshmark or Mercari. Maybe eBay. Okay, Nabla. We have the side-by-side palette. Definitely looks like a lot of my other neutral palettes, like the Iconic London one, but I haven't tried it out yet, and I would like to. I'm not very familiar with their formula. I also have Poison Garden, which I haven't tried out. Well, looks like I've tried it at least once, because that shade looks used. This one's not really, it doesn't speak to me a lot, but again, I do want to try these and just see how I feel about them. My one NARS palette. This is Summer Unrated. Haven't touched it yet, and I would like to. Okay, and then we're getting into my Natasha Denonas. So these are the full-size 5 pans that I have. The minis were all in my mini palette collection declutter. So we have Jubilee, Cupid, Peak, and Alloy. These 3 I love. This one, I don't get it. I don't think anyone gets this color story. Haven't touched it, but it has no resale value. So I may give it away, but for now, it's just gonna stay. So nothing leaving in this set, although that would be the most likely character if I were ready to give it up. Here are all my full-size Natasha Denona palettes. So we have Sunrise, Zendo, Bronze, the new Yucca, the, oh, what's this called? Retro Glam. The Retro, my Dream palette, and the Glam palette. Right over here, I would like to have the I Need a Nude palette. I don't need a nude, but I sure want that palette. None of these are going anywhere. This one was a gift from Mary Catherine Loves Cats. These 3 were gifts from my husband. This one I got in last year's Lucky Bag from Beautylish. And then I did purchase these 2 myself. All right, yeah, they're not going anywhere. They're actually going to be in a project this year, and I will be using them all, no pan left behind. So at least I will get some use out of these, and you'll see me attempt to wear colors I don't normally wear. But yeah, I am a little bit obsessed with my Natasha Denona palettes. Here are my Nomad and Odin's Eye palettes. So for Nomad, we have the Haunted Europe, Berlin Underground, Toscana, Hudson Valley, and Fates de Provence. And then for Odin's Eye, we have the Alva palette and the Verdandi palette. Yeah, so these don't get used. These are some of my I love them too much to touch designs. This one has been used and will get a little more use hopefully this year. I want to try to use this one a little more too. Not a fan of the glitter sparkly shimmers, but I am not very familiar with Odin's Eye's formula, although people love it. I do want to try it out a little more. And you know, I really don't like this. I don't like this palette. I am going to probably not just declutter, but I probably will take those shades out, like these two, and the rest can go. Just not a fan. So yeah, that one is gonna go and the rest are gonna stay. Now this is a mixed bag here. So we start with my one Pat McGrath. This is the Mothership 5. Absolutely gorgeous, amazing, beautiful formula. This is the Patrick Ta Major Dimension palette. I haven't touched it yet. Don't know why, because I spent a lot of money on it. Then we've got my Peri Paras here. Okay, this one is the Muteful Rose. Actually, kind of like the quality. These are both All Take Mood palettes. So we have Honey Brown and Prestige Pink. Obviously, you know why I purchased those. Those were part of my recent K-Beauty haul, and these were what I was going for. I'm not sad about it or embarrassed. All right, this is my Pinky Rose Rustic Rose palette. This was from Mary Catherine Loves Cats. I believe it was broken when she got it, and it doesn't matter. Definitely my colors, definitely my color story. Then we have my Pixie Hello Kitty palette. Never gonna use that. Just here for the Hello Kitty imprint. And then this is the PYT Upcycle Warm palette. Haven't used it. I have the mini, so I don't really need to have both, but that shade intrigues me because you know how I am with my yellows and oranges. Nothing's gonna go out of here. A lot of these are kind of, you know, collectibles or very, very precious. So that's this collection. Here we have a Rowan 52 Degrees palette. Haven't touched this, but Rowan is expensive. Weird formula from experience with another palette and from hearing it from others. So yeah, I'm kind of just keeping it because it's expensive. Then another from my K-Beauty haul. This is the Romand Dusty Fog palette. We've got Rude Cosmetics here. This is the, what is it? United Peachy Nudes. This is one of the Chupa Chups palettes. Fruit Basket palette. Sandabar Mirage. Thank you again, Mary Catherine Loves Cats, for this palette. And thank you, Laura the Bargain Hunter, for telling me this one was at TJ Maxx, because that's how I ended up with that. Okay, Sigma. We have the Untamed palette. Reminds me a lot of Anastasia Beverly Hills. Subculture? What is that one? I think it's Subculture. Haven't really done much with it, so I should. This is the Cor de Rosa from Sigma. Love the little rose. Need to get some more use out of this one. And then I have Magnifique and Warm Wishes. These were on sale. That's why I bought them. And I like the little minis, but this Warm Wishes is a glitter cover. So do I need this? Looking at the rest of them, no. No, I don't. Do I need this? Not really. I'm going to keep this one though and get rid of this one. Okay, this is Space Case, and it's just named Quad. It's all shimmers or satins, and another thing I need to use more. Then this is Spoiled Lips Cosmetics. This is like the volume 13 or 19, which is Nevermore. It's got glitter. There's two in here that have glitter. Hate it. But, yeah. Here we are. So, out of these, yeah, I'm only getting rid of this one because I cannot stand the glitter case, which is all over my fingers now. Awesome. But yeah, we'll see about next year for a lot of these. Moving on to Storybook and Sugar Pill. So Storybook Cosmetics is no more, and any Google search will tell you that they were a bit shady. Don't know the actual quality of these shadows, but I do know I love the books. So this one is Jane Eyre. Absolutely love this and will never let go of it. We also have Willy Wonka and the Chocolate Factory, or Charlie and the Chocolate Factory, I mean. We have the Mean Girls Burn book, and we have Little Briar Rose. So Little Briar Rose, I don't need. I don't need it. I don't know. I really don't need it. I'm gonna let that one go, because the other two like have a lot more meaning to me than Sleeping Beauty and Jane Eyre. So I'm gonna let that one go. Whew, that was hard. Okay, Sugar Pill. These are the capsule collection. I think this is number 1 and this is number 2. I think. Really don't use these a lot. Didn't really enjoy the formula when I tried them, but I need to try them some more. So only one leaving out of here. This is part 1 of my Tarte palettes, and these are all the ones that I haven't used. Most of them because I bought them as collectibles, obviously. You know I love my beautiful, beautiful imprints. This one clearly not so much. And this one I want to use, just haven't gotten around to it because I have 300 palettes plus. And this one I've also not touched, although that design is not something that I feel I need to collect. The thing about Tarte is that they repeat colors a lot. A lot. So I don't need all of these. Obviously not letting go of those 4 ever. Do I need this one though? The vibrant shade is really the only one that's calling to me, and I'm sure that I have that in other palettes. So I'm gonna go ahead and let go of this one. But that's it. I apologize. I did not actually tell you the names of these. So this is Cravings from Sweet Tarte. This is the Tarte Maneater. This one was Rainforest Temptations. This is Tartelet Energy. Sweet Tarte Double Shot. This is Buried Treasure. And this baby is Be You. Okay, part 2 of Tarte, and these are palettes that I have used. This is Let It Rainbow. I don't remember what this one's called. Remix Natural. And this is, I don't know. It is a holiday palette, and it was my Pan That palette 2 years ago. Clearly didn't pan it all, but it was basically new when I started the project, so I'm still happy with how I did. These two I think would be a great better together if I were into a lot of color, because this one's mostly matte, this one's mostly shimmer or all shimmer, and then there's just 2 shimmers in here. But I'm a little too afraid of color for that. None of these are going anywhere though. Okay, so starting with my Too Faced, we have the Pumpkin Spice Sunset Stripped, the new popcorn ball. I don't know why, I was just really attracted to this, so when it was half off, I went ahead and bought it. And the Papaya Pop, I bought this one on Mercari, and while it was supposed to be unused, it does look like there's a fingerprint in that middle shade, unfortunately. Okay, we have Trend Beauty, the Wanted palette. Thank you, Laura, the Bargain Hunter, for this one. I will never let it go. Tres Loose, we have whatever this one is. Dazzling Sueños. And we have La Flor de Mexico. This is the Ulta Beauty birthday palette. It was for their 20th birthday. The Urban Decay Cyber palette, and a Violet Voss Sunkissed palette. Is that what it's called? Yeah, Sunkissed. Not a huge fan of Tres Loose Beauty, but I do I do want to use this palette, but I'm going to let this one go. I have used it, but just not something I need in my life. Not a huge fan of this palette, but I want to force myself to use it a little more. This one's not used. I keep it because that top row is really pretty. Might have to rethink that one eventually. And then this one eventually will go. I just like the color story, and I have used it more than you'd expect. But these two are not used, and that one I haven't used, and I'd like to. So yeah, just one going out of these. This one's called Here for the Cake, by the way. Okie dokie. So, top row is Viseart. We have the Paris Love Letter. We have Petite Shimmers Sultry Nudes and Petite Mattes Warm, Violet Étendue, and I don't know, mattes something, neutral mattes. Well, people, this is the Sepia palette, and I loved this when I used it. Very pretty. Wet n Wild. So we have the Little Twin Stars, Cotton Candy Cloud. We have Kuromi, My Melody, Pac-Man, Coffee Cat, Ice Cream Bee, and then we have Wing Me, Ambitious Violet. This is so pretty. So these four are obviously palettes I collected from Wet n Wild. These two I bought when I was first getting into makeup, and I think I'm going to let these two go. This one does smell like coffee, and this one smells candy-esque. I wouldn't say it smells like ice cream, but these two can go. And then everything else will stay. Okay, some of my favorites here. So top row is my Winky Lux collection. Ooh, whoopsie. We have Meow Kitten, Mermaid Kitten, Latte Kitten, Cashmere Kitten, Galaxy Kitten. I want to keep Meow Kitten. I'm not feeling most of the other ones. They're cute palettes. I love the designs. I did for a long time have a special place in my heart for Winky Lux, but the quality isn't really there on the eyeshadows. So I'm going to keep Latte Kitten and Meow. And I think that's it. Wow. Wow. Okay. Okay, next is ZC. So, another brand that I love because they put beautiful imprints into their palettes. Don't know what this one is called, but it has like Tinkerbell in it. This one is Happy Moments, or at least that's what the box says. This one says Rabbit's Wonderland, I think. So that was part of the Alice in Wonderland. And this one is like Mayan from the Fireworks line. I don't know. This one's a cat one from the Fireworks line. They don't have the real names on them. And then I put these in with this category because I think of Palace Identity as ZC because they sell them. And Florasis reminds me of Palace Identity. So this is a Florasis palette that was sent to me by Kim from Hanging Out with Kim. She was going to get rid of this, and she knew I love beautiful imprinted palettes, so she sent it to me. Palace Identity. This one I did purchase myself. Oh, it's a beauty. Absolutely gorgeous. Absolutely gorgeous. And then this one was a gift from Laura the Bargain Hunter and Mary Catherine Loves Cats. And gosh, it just makes me want to cry every time I open it up because it's so beautiful. And I'm so thankful to them for sending it to me, knowing that I wouldn't use it, that I would just stare at it. It's peacocks. Again, really hard to find the names on these brands, but wow. So yeah. Getting rid of 3 Winky Luxes, keeping everything else. And that is it. That's my whole eyeshadow collection.
All right, guys, thank you so much for watching today. I hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, please remember to give it a thumbs up. Leave me some comments down below. And if you haven't yet, or you have just found my channel, feel free to subscribe to my channel as well. I would love to have you all around for my panning journey. Thanks so much, and I'll see you in my next one. Bye.